So good Sunday morning to you. This is about 6:47 a.m. Sunday. Going to give you all the data for what you need to know today with the severe weather threat. Put some timing on it. Here's the bottom line, I think, looking at the big picture this morning. I've been up for a while and I've studied it pretty well. I'll share with you the details, but it's going to get warm today. And I think the majority of your outside activities, I think you can get in today, especially if you start early. I think we need to be weather aware after about 3 p.m. this afternoon and from then on. So, but until then, I mean, there's just not a cloud in the sky. It's a pretty nice day. This afternoon, I will be here with you on Facebook Live or over on YouTube. The channel is 660 Weather. Like and subscribe there. I'd appreciate that. But either place, you will be able to catch me live this afternoon. We can go through these threats together because I do think there is the potential for large hail, especially large hail and strong damaging winds, low wind tornado threat as well. So we'll go through that. Looking outside right now, I like the satellite view when the sun's coming up across the U.S. I could pick one that shows this a little better. That's just kind of my favorite as the sun dawns across the United States. But you can see that cold front parked there off to the northwest like we've been talking about. That's going to scoot through, cause all of our issues this afternoon. In the meantime, though, look at that with me as the sun comes up this morning. Not a cloud in the sky over Kansas or Missouri. Expected to stay that way, actually, until very early afternoon. So let's go through the severe weather threats. This is not a significant change from last night or even before that, not for sure. We're in the yellow, 2 out of 5. So tornado outlook is low. I'm going to talk a little bit about southeast Kansas in a minute. Not to leave west central Missouri and points to the east out, but I'm going to show you some data this morning talking about it. It's a low end threat, of course, but it is there due to the type of the cells that I expect to see coming together late this afternoon. Severe wind, I think, though, is likely with anything that does come together, but we're really talking about significant hail a little bit more so than in the past. In that hatched area there, the black hatch marks, what we call that, greater than 10% probability of significant hail, bigger than 2 inches. So, significant hail and damaging winds, the more likely threats for this afternoon. Here's what I see playing out. I've got this parked at about 5 p.m. Not that it couldn't come in a little bit earlier, but I just don't see anything too much in our area. There's about 3 p.m. North of Columbia, maybe. But here we scoot up to about 5 p.m. This is where I think we need to start paying attention. We do have possibly some small cells starting to come together right at state line, right between Pleasanton and Butler somewhere, or between Pleasanton, Fort Scott, Nevada, and Butler somewhere. Could be over here between Appleton and Clinton, over to Sedalia. So again, 5 p.m. I think is when things kick off. We certainly want to be paying attention by that time frame. As I move forward in the forecast, let me just kind of back out and play for you how this happens. There's the overall system, right? So it sweeps in with that cold front, sags in from the northwest, headed off to the southeast, right? So that's the big picture. But even though you do not see a huge line, these clustered cells, let me back up just a little bit, have the potential to be very strong. And I'll show you some of the data in a little bit. So I'm over here at Winfield, Kansas. This is at 5 p.m. Over here, possibly around Fort Scott, Nevada, towards Eldo at 5 p.m. as well. So moving toward the 6 p.m. hour, it's going to be spotty, but what we do get again will be strong. So I'm looking again at Fort Scott, Lamar, Eldo, possibly moving towards the 6 p.m. hour. Anywhere along this front, though, this is just model data. It'll probably change throughout the day. We may take another look early afternoon, but really anywhere along this front, and I'm moving up now to, what is this, 8 p.m., that I do see really strong cells south of Garnett, Lynn Valley, Pleasanton, possibly headed over towards Butler, Ballard, Clinton. Anywhere along this front, guys. Southern edge, absolutely picking up as well, south of Parsons. So be aware, this is model data again for around the 8. So I'm going to say like the 7 to 9 hours. Oswego, Kansas, over towards Weir. Headed over across state line, picking up towards Lamar, Jasper. So, huge activity this afternoon down in Oklahoma and Texas. But we're certainly going to pick up our share of small, possibly discrete cells this afternoon. And what happens with those? Big hail and strong damaging winds, and of course that lower tornado threat as well. So I want to go through some of that data. It's important to understand, what is happening where and what is not happening somewhere too. Get the right data. It helps with anxiety, right? So I'm looking first at significant tornado parameter. These are lower end numbers, even though we see red and yellow for colors. I'm looking here at about the 5 p.m. hour, and it's not zero across even west central Missouri, but over here in southeast Kansas, I do see a little bit bigger numbers cropping up from the same time that we're talking about here, 5, 6, now 7 p.m. as things push off northwest to southeast. And so this is the area, pay especially attention, pay special close attention this afternoon and evening in southeast Kansas. Does come across state line, maybe over towards Joplin. That's just significant tornado. Again, not expressly high, but some of those small cells, if they are discrete, that is what we need to pay attention to. Here is supercell composite. Given probability that supercells may form, we have to talk about that because we don't have the linear threat. We do have these small discrete supercells. And so there's really no surprise there. I do see it a bit more focal again. Southeast Kansas, here's 5, 6, 7 p.m. So I think that's the area that we're going to be paying attention to this evening. At least that's what the data is suggesting today. Here's CAPE. Here's another atmospheric instability measurement. And the parameters here, again, suggesting a little bit more activity. The numbers are the highest. I mean, I'll be honest, these are 35 to 3,700 joules for CAPE. That's pretty high in southeast Kansas, tapering off a little bit as we get over here to state line. Same kind of thing. So at least by this morning's data, that's an area that we need to be especially paying attention to this afternoon and evening. Give people a call, headed over that way. Be happy to jump on here live this evening, talk to them, and help them through that. That's the area I think we'll be paying attention to. But overall, lots across the area to be weather aware of this afternoon. So everybody wants to know, judging by my messages this morning and last night, and I love getting your messages, by the way, how much more rain are we going to get? I haven't put that in the last couple of streams because we've had so many other things to talk about. How much more rain? This is an issue for areas. I was looking at several social media pictures last night with highways, with water across them last evening. Not sure what the status is this morning, but we can't take much more rain, especially over at the Merdazine River at Lacine. Current observations, just a second ago, that's what I'm showing you here, well into or just inside anyway, the moderate flood level, which is at 30.40 feet. Can't take much more over there, and in a lot of low-lying areas as well. So how much more rain is left to move through? Here's a graphic from the WPC. Again, sorry about this, talking about southeast Kansas picking up possibly 1.5 inches, maybe a little bit more. The rest of us, we're going to get 1/10 of an inch, maybe up to a little bit more than 1/4 of an inch. So it's just these thunderstorms that come through, and they're spotty, they're small as thunderstorms go in terms of not covering a wide geographical area. So not looking for widespread rainfall. Southeast Kansas, unfortunately, picking up possibly around 1.5 inches is how that looks with this morning's data. Looking at what's ahead, haven't done that in a while because we've had plenty of severe weather to talk about. Looking up into the upper levels, here's our low pressure that is going to scoot across. There's our little blip. There it is for this evening's severe weather threat with the associated cold front. As that scoots out, look what sets in right behind. Upper level winds shift northwesterly. That should bring us a little cool down for Monday, a drier, cooler air for Monday. And then as I just look through the upper levels, look what comes in behind it. Here is some good news. This is a stable pattern, actually. This is ridging setting in across the central U.S. As that ridging builds in by Tuesday, headed into Wednesday, what should we be looking for? We should be looking for a warming trend, mild conditions, a few days of actually boring weather overall. That's what this pattern suggests to me, and I don't think we'll have too much complaint about that. Looking down at the surface, is that what happens? We can put surface conditions up, and we can see that after tonight, yep, there goes our low up across the Great Lakes. Can't see it here, but as ridging sets in, I don't know if maybe we have a breezy Tuesday, Wednesday, looking at the pressure gradient there, but not seeing any precipitation. We should be into a good warming trend by now. It's not until, what are we up to here, Thursday? What am I at? This would be Wednesday afternoon, headed toward Thursday morning, that I start to see a pattern change again, maybe a breezy, what am I looking at here, Wednesday evening, and some precipitation cropping up maybe overnight Wednesday into Thursday. Wednesday, Thursday, again, maybe a little bit on Friday. I do see spotty precip chances again picking up. Thought I saw them. There they are. Yeah, toward the weekend. We'll get more specific on that. So it looks like we have a cool down first, looking at Monday, and then I think things will dry out and warm up midweek before some rain chances return. And am I right about any of that? Well, temperature trend says I'm going the right way. Always like to see that, right? So cool down Monday, it looks like these are Harrisonville numbers, so kind of central to my region. I use those a lot. Your numbers are going to be several degrees different, but these just give us an idea. That's the point. So cool down Monday, but it's still 80. Tuesday, 84, warming up. There's that warming trend for 87 for a high on Wednesday. Backing down with that pattern shift as precip builds back in, possibly toward the end of the week and the weekend. That's the time. That's the time we'll watch for our next rain chances, it looks like to me. So that's what I have for you this morning. Told you I had a lot of data. We'll be paying attention this afternoon. I will start watching very early afternoon to see what's headed our way. Jump on here and talk to you. Watches tend to kind of post about those unless I think a warning is imminent, and then I'll get on here. Otherwise, when a warning drops, I'll get on here and I'll take you through it one step at a time. In the meantime, have an awesome Sunday. I'll catch you back later.